Hey, I just released this pants sewing pattern. I'm gonna set you down here. They are a straight leg fit, relaxed, and they have an open circular pocket, which is definitely the hardest part about making them. But this pattern is still pretty simple to make. I labeled them confident beginner. And even if you are a beginner, then you can still absolutely attempt this project. I'm gonna be walking you through every single step in this video today. And then there's also a written document if you prefer looking through one of those. The download link for that document is linked below, and this pattern's available in A4, A0, and letter format, and this is the size guide. If your measurements don't fall specifically into one of these sections, then this pattern is pretty easy to modify. Like if your high hips are size small and your low hips are size large, then there's a section in the written document on how to do this. I think it's page 12, and if you don't understand what I'm saying in the written document, then please just message me. I'm always happy to help with stuff like that. Okay, the last thing that I want to say is that I'm making the most basic version of these pants in this video, so this pair is the exact pair that I'm making. So they're long, they have one singular circle pocket, and they have that slightly asymmetrical elastic waistband. But if you want to, you can do multiple pockets, different shapes. You can do capris, which I actually do include in the pattern. So you'll see like the pant pieces have slightly shorter options, so just cut those out if you want to do the capris. You could also do a drawstring hem at the bottom so that they're not open. You can do an invisible zipper closure instead of the elastic waistband, and those two options I show how to do at the end of this video, and then also at the end of the pattern. You can also do lace trimming, contrast stitching, etc. You can get as creative as you want with these pants. I'm gonna include the pictures of all the ones that I made, as well as all of the ones that my testers made, in the listing on my website, so if you want some inspo, then just look at those. Okay, so for pants, I recommend like a rayon polyester. These pants are actually that type of material. I really like it because it doesn't wrinkle, and it's also very comfortable. You can also do a fully polyester material. You could do a linen material if you want something more beachy and relaxed. You could do cotton. I did put some specific links to specific materials that I use, so if you want to buy the exact ones, then just check out the written document. And then for the waistband, you could use jersey, mesh, lycra, honestly any type of material that has 75% stretch, and I'll show you how to measure the stretch in a second. So this is how much fabric you'll need for the capris, and this is how much fabric you'll need for the pants. And in addition to the fabric, you will also need the following materials. You're gonna need a sewing machine, a serger. If you don't have a serger though, you can do the zigzag stitch. You'll need thread matching, and then also if you want to do something extra special, then you could do contrast thread. You'll need pins, chalk, scissors or a rotary cutter, stabilizer, an iron, and also the pattern, which will be linked in the description. And then if you're doing a modification, depending on the modification, you'll also need elastic cord, spring locks, invisible zipper, and an invisible zipper foot. Okay, so the first step is to print the pattern. Make sure you're printing it in actual or original size. If you click fit to page, it'll skew the pattern a little bit. And to make sure it's the right size, I recommend printing just page 2 alone because it has a reference test square. So measure it and make sure it's in fact 2 by 2 inches, and then you can go ahead and print the rest of the document on the same settings. When it comes to assembling the pattern, you will have to cut the borders off the pages so that the lines match up like this and tape them together. The pages are numbered 1 through 27 or 1 through 30 depending on if you're using the A4 or the letter format file, so you can know what order to place them in, and then cut out each piece in your size. Also, if you have to modify the pattern a bit for your size, then I go into how to do that in the written document. There are 2 main options for this pattern. The original design has an elastic waistband, but if you're doing option 2, it doesn't require a waistband, so you can omit piece 3 entirely, so you just need to cut out piece 1, 2, and 4. Okay, so to measure the stretch of your fabric, hold a section of the fabric against a ruler at 0 inches and at 4 inches, and while holding the 0 inch mark, pull the 4 inch mark against the ruler as far as it will go comfortably, and note this length. So for me, it stretches from 4 to 7 inches, and then use this formula to calculate the stretch. So for me, you can see this one is 75%. Okay, so the first step is to cut all the pieces. So you should have 6 pieces, 2 front, 2 back, 1 waistband, and 1 pocket. So once all these pieces are cut out the circle from the paper pattern piece number 4, and then trace it with chalk on the wrong side of the fabric pocket piece. And then pin the crotches together, right sides facing each other, so the fronts are together and the backs are together. And then sew the curve with 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then serge the edges, or if you don't have a serger, then do a zigzag stitch. And then take out your iron and iron the seam allowance to one side. Alternatively, you could do a French seam. This is my favorite option personally. To do this, place the wrong sides facing one another instead of the right sides. Pin together and then sew with 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then cut the seam allowance to 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, and then iron the seam to one side and then fold the piece at the seam so that the right sides are facing each other, and then iron down again and pin in place, and then sew the curve again with 1/4 inch seam allowance. So this makes so that the total seam allowance is 1/2 inch. And the raw hem should be completely enclosed, and it should look like this. You can also do the same thing for the side seams. If you're doing option 1 with the elastic waistband, do this for both sides, but if you're doing option 2 with the invisible zipper, just do it for one side. And I'll show you how to do the invisible zipper right now, so if you're doing option 1, just skip to this timestamp. Okay, so for the invisible zipper, you'll need it to be at least 8 inches long, and you'll need to finish the raw edges of the pants with a serger or a zigzag stitch before you add the zipper onto the pants. So on the right side of the fabric, make chalk markings 1/2 inch from the edge of the fabric on both sides. You can end the markings around 8 inches down from the top of the pants. Then unzip the zipper and place one side face down on the right side of the fabric. Place it so that the zipper teeth are right above the chalk markings, so that when you sew it, you'll have exactly 1/2 inch seam allowance, and do this for both sides of the zipper. And then make a mark on the zipper at 8 inches, and using an invisible zipper foot, sew until the 8-inch mark. And then zip the zipper up and fold the pants so that the right sides are facing each other, and pin the side seams together all the way down to the bottom of the pants, and then sew the back and the front leg together with a straight stitch with 1/2 seam allowance, ending the stitch approximately 1/2 inch above where the zipper stitch ends so that they overlap slightly. And using a zipper foot here will help you get as close of a stitch as possible. So it should look like this. When you open the zipper, the stitch will act as a stopper, so you can just cut off the excess of the zipper. Then try the pants on. There's probably going to be some gaping. This pair had extra space in the back, so I'm doing 2 darts, both 3 inches away from the center seam, and the width of the darts is 1/2 inch. And then I mark 2 inches down from the center of each dart so that it's a thin triangular shape. And then this is the shape of the dart, so fold the piece right sides together and sew down the markings. These are the darts that work for me, but if you have a deeper hip to waist ratio, then you will definitely need bigger or more darts. The important thing is just to try on the pants and see where there's extra space. So if they end up being longer and wider than my darts, then that's totally fine. Just make sure to end it off gradually, because if you don't, it's gonna look pointy when you turn the pants right side out. With thin fabric, sometimes backstitching the point of the dart will make it look weird, so instead of backstitching to secure the stitch, sew off the dart, leaving a decently long tail, and then tie the 2 threads in a knot. And then iron the darts to the outside, and it should look like this. Then you'll just have to serge the top because it's a raw edge, and then fold it down, iron and top stitch, and then add the lace. So to add it, you can fold it around the edge like this, once or twice. If your lace frays, then definitely twice, and then pin it in place and sew with a straight stitch. The last thing to do is to add a hook and eye closure, or 2 if you'd like, and I just hand stitched this part, so this is what it should look like. If you don't want to do French seams, that's totally fine. Instead, just place the front and the back pieces right sides facing each other, and then pin the sides and sew with 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then serge the edge of both sides and iron the seams to the front, and then top stitch the seam. So now to create the waistband, fold the waistband in half lengthwise, right sides facing each other, and sew with 1/2 inch seam allowance so that it's circular. To sew this, sandwich the fabric between 2 layers of stabilizer to make it as easy as possible to sew. Sometimes with really stretchy material like this, the sewing machine will eat at the fabric, so just to avoid that, that's why I'm using stabilizer. And then tear away the stabilizer. So to add it onto the pants, fold the waistband down so that the raw seam is on the inside, and then line the seam of the waistband and the back seam of the pants up together. So there should be 2 layers of the waistband and 1 layer of the pants, and then pin it down. And then fold the waistband to find the center front and pin that to the front center seam. And then to pin the rest, pull the waist of the main fabric pants taut so that the waistband stretches to fit it, and then pin it all in place. And then to sew it together, still keeping the fabric taut, sew the layers together with 1/2 inch seam allowance, using stabilizer on top of the stretch fabric, and then tear it away. And then serge the raw edge and iron the seam allowance down and do a top stitch. This is what it should look like so far. Now for the circle pocket. Make sure the circle is drawn with chalk or some type of disappearing marker on the wrong side of the pocket piece, and also use the pocket pattern piece to trace the same circle on the right side of the pants piece. You can place the pocket wherever you'd like, but usually I like to do around 6 inches below the waistband and slightly to the front so that approximately 2/3 of the circle is on the front side of the seam. If you're doing any type of stitch detail on the inside of the pocket, now's the time, so just use the paper pattern piece to mark the same circle on the opposite end of the pocket piece and the right side of the fabric, and then do whatever kind of drawing you'd like on the inside of the circle. So for example, I did a spiral. Then using a pin, poke through the top of the circle on the pocket piece and then line it up with the top of the circle on the pants, and then do the same thing with the bottom and then along the whole circle, and then sew along the whole circle. And then once it's sewn, cut out the center of the circle, leaving around 3/8 inch seam allowance, and cut 10 to 15 slits into the seam allowance, making sure not to cut the stitch that you just sewed. The more slits that you do, the smoother the circle will look. And then push the pocket bag through the circle opening and iron it down, and then use pins to keep it in place and sew the perimeter of the circle with 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then ironing the pocket at every step is really important so that there's no puckering. To close the pocket, fold the bottom half up and line up the edges, and then pin and sew along the raw edges with 3/8 inch seam allowance, and then serge. And then to finish the pocket and make sure it stays in place, flip the entire piece right side up and pin the pocket in place, and then sew a half circle top stitch with 1/4 inch seam allowance, so this is exactly where the other stitch is, so they're blending in together. And you can use a loop turner here to pull the thread through so that it doesn't untangle. Once the pockets are done, you can sew the crotches together, so line up the center seam, pin the whole inseam of the pants, and then sew with 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then iron the seam to the back. And then try them on to make sure that they're the proper length. They should be 1 inch too long. If they're longer than that, then just cut off a little bit, and if they're too short, hopefully this is not the case, but just add less seam allowance when you finish the bottom hem. So to finish the bottom hem, just serge the end, and then iron it up 1 inch, and then pin and sew with 3/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, now that they're all finished, all that's left to do is to show you the final results. Okay, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you do make these, then send me pictures. You could also post videos and tag me. I would love to share them on my social media. Here are all of my social medias, and if you have any questions, problems, anything, then email me or DM me. I'm always happy to help. And yeah, thank you so much for your support, and I love you all. Kisses.